Work your way up to the front of the march, and there she is, a woman who says it's like she's been marching for years.
The Me Too movement gained prominence as a survivor-led wave against sexual harassment in the workplace throughout the 2010s, which more than twice as many Americans support and oppose the Me Too movement. A flashback to 2006, when Tarana Buck, an activist, originated the phrase Me Too and founded the movement for the victims of sexual harassment. It was not until 2017 that the phrase Me Too became popular in a more defined version on social media, #MeToo. Alicia Milano is the one who sparked the movement opposed to sexual harassment. It was reported that the numbers of Me Too hashtags reached more than 19 million times on Twitter after 1 year.
In 2017, the famous film director Harvey Weinstein was accused of rape, sexual assault, and sexual abuse by more than 80 women in the film industry. Finally, he faces up to 24 years in prison when he is sentenced. This case is considered a landmark story for the entire Me Too movement, as it has set a precedent for future sexual assault cases on women. Public awareness of gender equality has been raised once again as a result of the Weinstein effect.
Gender equality to me is when any person of any gender can achieve what they want to achieve in their life.
To me, gender equality is a basic human rights principle.
Overall, gender equality can be defined as the act of treating any gender equally.
One of the most critical impacts is that the movement provides a foundation for the survivors to share their stories, break the silence, and exert their autonomy. Me Too encourages them to stand up and find support from other people who understand them. The movement let the survivors know that they are not alone and their experiences are justifiable. The Me Too movement uses social media as an important tool to spread the message and create pressure. From October 2017 to October 2018, there were more than 90 million tweets related to the hashtag #MeToo. Posts and messages on social media help to create a strong online community that sympathizes with the survivors and supports them. According to a study on Harvard Business Review, in 2016 and 2018, the number of women reported being sexually coerced had declined from 25% to 16%. Also, the number of women reported having unwanted sexual attention had dropped from 66% to 25%.
Besides, thanks to the Me Too movement's influence, many offices have changed their sexual harassment policy by prioritizing the changes in beliefs and behavior about sexual harassment. Me Too redefined the behaviors that are acceptable and created a reputable culture in the workplace. According to a survey by Global Upliftment and Executive Coaching firm Challenger, Ray and Christmas, due to the influence of the Me Too movement, in 2018, over 52% of companies in America reviewed the policies about sexual harassment. 72% of them updated it, and another 20% created a more respectful workplace.
It is undeniable that the Me Too movement has been doing a great job in bringing attention to issues of sexual harassment and assault in the workplace. However, the movement also faced several shortcomings. One of the most prominent is that companies are less likely to hire women. Since the inception of the Me Too movement, many men have reacted by trying to avoid women altogether in the workplace. The people who do the hiring, when hiring women, would consider the possible damages of being sued for if a woman claims an employee or manager sexually harassed her by simply smiling at her the wrong way. In a Harvard Business Review article, it is reported that in 2018, 16% men said that they would be reluctant to hire attractive women, and the number increased 3% by 2019. Surely, the solutions to sexual harassment in the workplace won't be found in refusing to hire attractive women or to avoid interacting with women during the course of work. Many men can't realize that what they are doing is taking away women's opportunities. The fact that men hold the majority of leadership positions within most industry allow them to decide whether or not to work with women, while women can't do anything much but accept.
Following the Me Too movement, many allegations have been made, but not all of them are right. Though there's no research directly pinned down on this topic, it does tend to show that false allegations represent between 2% and 10% of all claims, which is definitely not a small number. The most famous case of false accusation must be the one of Brett Kavanaugh, who was alleged by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford for sexually assaulting her when they were teenagers in the early 1980s.
Pushed onto the bed, and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands over my body and grinding into me.
His hearings sparked another movement besides Me Too, named the Him Too movement. Appeared during this time, the Him Too movement stands with the victims who are men, which includes men who are falsely accused as well as male victims of sexual crimes who didn't dare to speak up their stories during the age of Me Too. The emergence of another movement like Him Too poses a question that leads to an even bigger problem. Does Me Too really support gender equality when its inclusivity is lacking? If only women are trustworthy and only women can be the victim, can gender equality be at risk, or will it become even more of a daydream?
To conclude, although the Me Too movement has brought many benefits to women and victims of sexual crimes, there are still some certain limitations in promoting gender equality.
Stop the violence!